Hello fellow Helldivers, Thornton here. We are a few days away from our first big expansion for Helldivers 2, and with a ton of new content coming in, it looks awesome, but there is some stuff that looks like it was cut from the game or just didn't make the cut or will be releasing further on down the line. We're going to go over what that is and what you haven't seen before, but without further ado, let's get ready to spread some democracy. So Helldivers 2 upcoming expansion, Escalation of Freedom, has a ton of new content that they are jam-packing into it. We have everything from brand new enemy types like the Alpha Commander, which is an elite version of the Brood Commander. We have the Barrier Tank, which is going to blow us all over the place unless we have our blast armor on. Don't forget the Heavy Scout Strider with a rocket, which is going to be an absolute menace. Not to mention brand new bug types like the Impaler, which is entirely different from anything we faced before, with giant tentacles coming out of the ground to hit us, and the new Spore Charger, which is going to explode on us, causing us a ton of damage. They not only did all of that, but we've got brand new mission objectives. There's an Automaton trophy head, which we probably have to carry around and drop off at an evac point, but it's not just the automatons. The larva backpack objective is also going to be something that comes in for the bugs, where we go ahead and run around and drop this off to an evac station. And that is a ton of great new content coming into the game that's going to give us a ton more hours to play and really enjoy things going on. That being said, there's a lot of stuff that the Arrowhead team has been working on that did not make it into the cut of this game. It will either not be coming at all, or it might be coming in a future update, and we actually got some looks at it, well, thanks to the Arrowhead team themselves. This isn't leaked or data mined. They actually went ahead and showed the concept art of a lot of stuff that they're working on up on their official art station. They have really cool stuff, and it's not just new content, it's also new skins. There's this really cool samurai armor that just didn't make the cut into the game, at least not yet, and it really throws it back to Halo 3 Hayabusa armor for me. I would love to see this come into the game. It's one of the cooler ones they've done. I imagine thematically they're trying to aim for something with it in the near future. That being said, not everything is cut, because we also saw a barrier wall that they went ahead and uploaded. This is by Lucas Orstrom, one of the devs, and we've seen this in an unreleased stratagem leak, so we do know that this was very much worked on. There's concept art and how it would function right there, where it would land, fold out, but it can also go in different patterns. It comes with the mounted turret and just hasn't found a place yet to go. Now, speaking of those new jetpack trooper squads, which we also saw as a new patrol unit in Helldivers 2 for the update, there was also some images right here, completely 3D'd and modeled, where the Automaton has a light trooper that looks much more human-like. This could be an upcoming enemy type coming in the near future, especially after we saw the jetpack ones and more additions being added, but as of right now, it just didn't make the cut. That being said, they showed us something very, very cool, also by Lucas Orstrom, and it shows what seems to be Automaton with a head but a brain case. This means that either we are going to go ahead and get more cyborgs on the Automaton side, or a brand new side faction that features them as well, as there has been leaks and information about that. I actually think this looks really cool and would love to see how this enemy actually comes into play in the future if they end up making it in. Also by Lucas, we got to see the Tesla towers. Now obviously that did actually make it into the game, but right next to it is also his design for this Super Earth conscript. We've seen this also in a ton of leaks and data mines, and it's supposed to be some kind of vendor in the near future, but it's nice to confirm that Arrowhead themselves indeed were working on it, and the voice lines that were leaked for it were actually in the game. I'll go ahead and actually at the end of this video play the voice AI lines. It's voiced by an AI right now, but all the verbiage is actually in the game files, thanks to Ironside who put it together. One thing that I thought was really interesting is, well, they had a different version of the galaxy map, as you can see right here, and the planets are a little bit more detailed, and there's route lines, and even more interestingly enough, if you look really closely, there are corporations surrounding it or in charge of certain areas. Now this is something that I could definitely see coming into the game in the very near future. We know that there are a ton of different corporations involved with Super Earth. Ministry of Humanity, Ministry of Prosperity, Ministry of Expansion, Defense, Truth, Intelligence, and Unity, but all of them are actually backed by corporations, as you can see there. And it seems that it goes even more in depth, as the corporations from the dev artwork, once again from Lucas, shows that HLS, for instance, gives us our own types of firearms with a pump shotgun, railgun, and HMG. So this is something that I do think is going to come very near in the future, because they just put a ton of work onto it in multiple different areas. And it seems like they're definitely going to lean more into the Super Earth later on in upcoming season. The last big one before we go into the Super Earth conscript voice lines is this was originally going to be the Pelican 2 evac ship, and it's much more helicopter-like, but when you look at the animations, you'll notice that the cockpit actually opens up. We do know from Iron Sights that there was new files found about a flying vehicle camera angle thing, which does seem to be coming in the near future. So I wonder if this got scrapped for the Pelican for regular evac, but the flying vehicle, when it comes in, this could be repurposed for that. All that being said, let's go ahead and listen to some of the Super Earth conscript lines.
Tip number 419. Illuminate outposts are often heavily shielded and are best overcome with weapons boasting extreme destructive power. Tip number 394. During night missions, Helldivers are automatically granted access to the flare stratagem at no extra cost. Hooray! Beep boop. Tip number 836. Lying prone provides minimal protection against nearby explosions. Tip number 194. The longer a mission takes, the more aware of your presence the enemy will become. Non-murderous butler. The election is approaching. Please be prepared to participate. Sales are the lifeblood of democracy. And also final. Tip number 119. Locate and successfully extract with intel, and you will reveal an intel mission. Hooray! Purchase complete. Please note, some samples are rarer than others. Pay careful attention to what your fellow Helldivers are doing. Tip number 223. Research points are used to progress your Helldiver specialization and to access certain rare stratagems. Hooray! Please make your way to the Democracy Officer for the latest war briefing. Tip number 626. Eagle aircraft must be rearmed during missions via the corresponding stratagem. This will restock their usage and their spirits. Self-diagnostic complete. Conclusion: not an automaton. Tip number 411. When fighting Illuminate, keep moving. Tip number 329. Each tier in your Helldiver specialization unlocks new items.
Let me know down below, what are your guys' thoughts on the upcoming update? Are you looking forward to a lot of this stuff? And what was some of the cut content that you would have liked to have seen make it into this update? Also, don't forget to check out this video and this video right here where I cover more news and information on Helldivers 2. And until next time, everyone, thanks for stopping by and keep spreading democracy.